Eli Roth, The Green Inferno, is set to make its debut at TIFF 2013 in September. Pretty soon here, this week coming up. It's an unofficial remake of Cannibal Holocaust, which is one of the most controversial horror films of all time. It was like the found footage torture porn of its day. It was like the Blair Witch Project of its day. It even inspired the Blair Witch Project. And it's famous for its really graphic violence and torture porn and brutal rape scenes. And the original story follows an NYU film student crew that go down just to do a documentary on lost tribes or something in the Amazon. And then obviously they come across a cannibalistic tribe. And the director, Ruggio Deodato, he was once in Italy arrested for the murders in this film, even though it was prosthetics. It was pretty funny. He had to go to court for it. He planned on doing a sequel to this in the mid-2000s after his Hostel 2 cameo. He actually knew Eli Roth when he did the cameo for Hostel 2, and he planned on doing a sequel, but he didn't get around to it. So Eli Roth doesn't directly, for legal purposes, call this a Cannibal Holocaust remake, even though everyone knows what that is. Green Inferno, it's just the nickname given to, the Amazon jungle, the Amazon hell of the Lost Tribes. It's like the 50s horror comics. This is an exact 50s horror comics. There isn't even a trailer or a poster yet to this movie, but it's kind of like those 50s horror comics when you read the tribal voodoo stories of where they'll go deep into the Amazon and then get sacrificed off and killed. It's sick like that. It was supposed to be filmed. It was filmed last fall, 2012, in Peru. Okay, so he did Shockwave with some other guy in South America. Then he was like, okay, now I'm gonna do Hannibal, or now I'm gonna do the Green Inferno, my version of Hannibal Holocaust. Eli Roth, one of my favorite directors. Everyone knows that. Ever since Cabin Fever came out, that's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It was a bloodbath. Just imagine what he could do with this. It'll be a bloodbath for sure. The only stills that they have is just the lead actress covered in blood, and all the cast information will be below. I know he got the kid from Spy Kids, Daryl Sabara or whatever his name is. He's cast as one of the NYU film students, and Eli Roth was once an NYU film student, so I'm guessing that this is legendary to him, and it's probably huge for horror film students that go to NYU. I expect it to be more entertaining than Cannibal Holocaust. It's going to have the Eli Roth witty dialogue, great lines. Should be an upgrade from the original in that standpoint. But, Eli Roth, I really hate what he's done with his career ever since. He did Hostel, even though all the studios, that was the remake era, the remake boom. All the studios were giving him, options to helm big name production projects for remakes. He turned all that down because he listened to Tarantino to do Hostel, which was awesome. But for some reason he just did Hostel 2, which took up the rest of the decade essentially, which was just Hostel with girls. And then he hung out with Tarantino way too much, and then he was in Inglourious Bastards and also the Grindhouse film. And then what has he done since? Hemlock Grove, some TV show that no one watches. So this is going to be huge for his comeback, because right now he needs to show the horror fans something, since he's really been neglecting us and been doing stupid acting with Tarantino. So really looking forward to this. Probably not going to get a chance to see it at Toronto this year, but a lot of people aren't going to get a chance to see it because it's just going to be at the Toronto International Film Festival in September. Then it should get a distribution deal by 2014 sometime, so I'll try and keep that updated. And it's supposed to be rated R for graphic nudity. I don't know if there's going to be no animal torture scenes. I forgot to say that. There was a lot of animal torture scenes, really graphic scenes. They like pull this weasel out of the jungle and they like stab him in the neck. There's so many like crazy scenes like that. It's one of the most fucked up movies of all time. So any other information, I'll try and put it in the description below. This was Eli Roth's Mondo documentary film, The Green Inferno. Keep an eye out for it. This was JBM from VillainNews. I'm out.